Please like the video and share it so that it reaches many more people and you get sawaba, or rewards from Allah. This could be a sawabe jariyah or continuous reward for you long after you are gone.
Funerals, Al-Janaa'iz. Volume 2, Book 23, number 329. Narrated by Abu Dar. Allah's Apostle said, "Someone came to me from my Lord and gave me the news, or good tidings, that if any of my followers dies worshipping none, in any way, along with Allah, he will enter paradise." I asked, even if he committed illegal sexual intercourse, adultery, and theft? He replied, even if he committed illegal sexual intercourse, adultery, and theft. Volume 2, Book 23, number 330. Narrated by Abdullah. Allah's Apostle said, "Anyone who dies worshipping others along with Allah will definitely enter the fire." I said, "Anyone who dies worshipping none along with Allah will definitely enter paradise." Volume 2, Book 23, number 331. Narrated by Al-Bara bin Azib. Allah's Apostle ordered us to do 7 things and forbade us to do other 7. He ordered us to follow the funeral procession, to visit the sick, to accept invitations, to help the oppressed, to fulfill the oaths, to return the greeting and to reply to the sneezer, saying, "May Allah be merciful on you," provided the sneezer says, "All the praises are for Allah." He forbade us to use silver utensils and dishes and to wear golden rings, silk, clothes, dibai, pure silk cloth, kisi and istabrak, 2 kinds of silk cloths. Volume 2, Book 23, number 332. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. I heard Allah's Apostle saying, "The rights of a Muslim on the Muslims are to follow the funeral processions, to accept invitation and to reply the sneezer." See Hadith number 331. Volume 2, Book 23, number 333. Narrated by Aisha. Abu Bakr came riding his horse from his dwelling place in As-Sun. He got down from it, entered the mosque and did not speak with anybody till he came to me and went direct to the Prophet, who was covered with a marked blanket. Abu Bakr uncovered his face. He knelt down and kissed him and then started weeping and said, "My father and my mother be sacrificed for you, O Allah's Prophet. Allah will not combine 2 deaths on you. You have died the death which was written for you." Narrated Abu Salama from Ibn Abbas. Abu Bakr came out and Umar was addressing the people, and Abu Bakr told him to sit down but Umar refused. Abu Bakr again told him to sit down but Umar again refused. Then Abu Bakr recited the Tashahhud, i.e. none has the right to be worshipped but Allah and Muhammad is Allah's Apostle. And the people attended to Abu Bakr and left Umar. Abu Bakr said, "Amma Badi, whoever amongst you worshipped Muhammad, then Muhammad is dead, but whoever worshipped Allah, Allah is alive and will never die." Allah said, "Muhammad is no more than an apostle and indeed, many apostles have passed away before him." Up to the grateful. 3.144. The narrator added, "By Allah, it was as if the people never knew that Allah had revealed this verse before till Abu Bakr recited it and then whoever heard it, started reciting it." Volume 2, Book 23, number 334. Narrated by Qariya bin Zaid bin Thabit. Al-Ala, an Ansari woman who gave the pledge of allegiance to the Prophet said to me, "The emigrants were distributed amongst us by drawing lots and we got in our share, Uthman bin Mazan. We made him stay with us in our house. Then he suffered from a disease which proved fatal when he died and was given a bath and was shrouded in his clothes. Allah's Apostle came. I said, 'May Allah be merciful to you, O Abu as-Sa'ib. I testify that Allah has honored you.' The Prophet said, 'How do you know that Allah has honored him?' I replied, O Allah's Apostle, let my father be sacrificed for you. On whom else shall Allah bestow his honor? The Prophet said, no doubt, death came to him. By Allah, I too wish him good, but by Allah, I do not know what Allah will do with me, though I am Allah's apostle. By Allah, I never attested the piety of anyone after that. Volume 2, Book 23, number 335. Narrated by Al-Layth. As above. Volume 2, Book 23, number 336. Narrated by Jabir bin Abdullah. When my father was martyred, I lifted the sheet from his face and wept, and the people forbade me to do so, but the Prophet did not forbid me. Then my aunt Fatima began weeping, and the Prophet said, it is all the same whether you weep or not. The angels were shading him continuously with their wings till you shifted him from the field. Volume 2, Book 23, number 337. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. Allah's Apostle informed the people about the death of an-Najashi on the very day he died. He went towards the Masala, praying place, and the people stood behind him in rows. He said 4 takbirs, i.e. offered the funeral prayer. Volume 2, Book 23, number 338. Narrated by Anas bin Malik. The Prophet said, Zayd took over the flag and was martyred. Then it was taken by Jafar, who was martyred as well. Then, Abdullah bin Rawaha took the flag, but he too was martyred, and at that time the eyes of Allah's Apostle were full of tears. Then Khalid bin al-Walid took the flag without being nominated as a chief beforehand, and was blessed with victory. Volume 2, Book 23, number 339. Narrated by Ibn Abbas. A person died, and Allah's Apostle used to visit him. He died at night, and the people buried him at night. In the morning they informed the Prophet about his death. He said, what prevented you from informing me? They replied, it was night, and it was a dark night, and so we disliked to trouble you. The Prophet went to his grave and offered the funeral prayer. Volume 2, Book 23, number 340. Narrated by Anas. The Prophet said, a Muslim whose 3 children die before the age of puberty will be granted paradise by Allah due to his mercy for them. Volume 2, Book 23, number 341. Narrated by Abu Sa'id. The women requested the Prophet, please fix a day for us. So the Prophet preached to them and said, a woman whose 3 children died would be screened from the hell fire by them. Hearing that, a woman asked, if 2 died? The Prophet replied, even 2 would screen her from the hell fire. And Abu Hurairah added, those children should be below the age of puberty. Volume 2, Book 23, number 342. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. The Prophet said, no Muslim whose 3 children died will go to the fire except for Allah's oath, i.e. everyone has to pass over the bridge above the lake of fire. Volume 2, Book 23, number 343. Narrated by Anas bin Malik. The Prophet passed by a woman who was sitting and weeping beside a grave and said to her, fear Allah and be patient.